always a pleasure to be with you on Radio Tunis International. Faisal Hilali on audio engineering, Sufi and Benjamin live streaming. Hayatou Kabri in the studio for this daily edition. And we have the pleasure to have with us in the studio Haifa Ben Said from HECMUN. She is here today to talk to us about the grande simulation and a very interesting topic that they are dealing with as part of this grand simulation. So welcome, Haifa.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Right. So tell us a bit more about yourself, Haifa.
Okay, so my name is Haifa Ben Said. I'm 19 years old. I'm the communication and marketing manager at HECMUN. And I'm here to talk about our grand simulation.
All right. Okay. So HECMUN and the activities that you organize in general, are they all concerned with diplomacy, or do you organize other events that are related to other issues as well?
Okay, so our main focus is on diplomacy, politics, debating, etc. MUN stands for Model of the United Nations, but we also tackle other topics such as those related to business, etc.
All right. Okay. So your event is the Grand Simulation, and it's 8.0. So it means that it's in its
The
eighth
eighth
edition already.
yes.
Okay. And it's going to take place on the 25th and 26th of April.
So it is from the 24th to the 26th.
Okay.
The 24th is the opening ceremony.
All
however.
right. So 24th through the 26th. Right.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the Grand Simulation. What is it? Give us a definition. Why do you call it a Grand Simulation?
So it is the biggest event of every MUN in general, where young minds and students from across Tunisia and abroad to meet to debate and to tackle global issues, whether it is politics, diplomacy, etc. And they draft resolution papers at the end, but it is also fun apart from the political side and diplomacy.
But prior to the grand simulation, there is always a preparation period for this grand simulation. How do you get organized in order to reach the grand simulation?
Okay, so every MUN has a internal simulation at the start of the year. So we had one in December, I think, and we tackled the topic of the penalty of the death penalty, where only members of our club can participate. But then we have also workshops to prepare the students, and yeah.
So this is how it goes. That's the format
Yes,
in general.
yes.
All right. So the simulation is over, maybe you said 3 days, from the 24th to the 26th. Why is it organized over such a long period of time, since it is a grand simulation? So I presume it's going to take place maybe for a couple of hours, something like that.
So it generally happens over 2 days. The first day is the opening ceremony, as I mentioned. The first day we just raise motions. We talk about different, as in we see the topic from different sides. And then for the second day as well, it happens like that. But then at the end of the day, we draft a resolution paper, which is pretty much the solutions that can be applied to that topic, to that problem. And that's it.
Right. Okay. So the theme for this grand simulation, I think Fares has just
our president,
joined us. He can join. So just 1 second, and we will continue then our conversation. So keep in mind, you are going to explain the theme and the meaning and why you have chosen this.
Okay.
Hi, Fares. Oh, Fares, sorry. Okay, please come in.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone.
Hello. So tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having us. First of all, I present myself. I'm Fares Triki. I'm 23 years old, and I'm a master's student in University Carthage. And I'm the current president of HECMUN.
Ah, Mr. President.
Yes.
So that's why you are late.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Right, so we were talking a little bit. Haifa gave us a quick introduction to HECMUN and to the grand simulation, and we were talking about the theme of this grand simulation. So I asked her about the meaning and the relevance
Yes,
of the theme.
of
So
course.
maybe you can give her a break and you
Yes,
can
of
answer
course.
that. Okay, since you are the president.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
So I think Haifa well presented the club and our activity as we introduce, we create opportunities for students where they can learn how to do academic research, how to debate, how to engage in very resourceful discussions about major conflicts, especially diplomatic conflicts. So for this year's simulation, grand simulation, we chose to do the theme is mystic diplomacy, the Sufi path to peace. So
Mystic diplomacy, the Sufi path to peace.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I mean, all these terms are really very interesting.
Exactly.
So if you can maybe explain them and maybe the relation between mysticism
Exactly.
and peace
Exactly.
and diplomacy.
Exactly. So the idea is Sufism has been forever a huge part of Tunisian culture. It's people where they seek refuge, where there's in times of conflict, Sufi leaders and the Sufi paths, طرق الصوفية, they create a refuge and an escape for people who are in oppression.
Right.
So oppression has always been a very major issue, and in every conflict, in every war. So we wanted to play on that, to play on the importance of Sufism in finding resolutions in times of conflicts, especially in the historical context. And even nowadays, what is the importance of Sufism? What is the importance of these people who are have always claimed tolerance, have always claimed discussions and communications in times, in hard times, and peace, exactly. So finding a middle ground is really important in the Sufi orders, and we as MUN clubs, we try to find this middle ground between all the different delegations, all the countries that are present in every committee, to find the sense of middle ground and resolution to the conflict at hand.
All right. So, do you? I mean, when you choose the theme for the grand simulation, do you give the different delegates who are going to participate in the grand simulation? Do you give them time to research the topic, to understand? I mean, the why of the choice of this theme, etc., so that they can maybe prepare their defense, let's say, in a proper way.
Exactly. So, first of all, I would like to present the committees that we have, the different committees, so we can really elaborate on that. So we have, first of all, the Security Council, which is one of the most powerful committees in the United Nations. We are talking in this committee about the Iranian Revolution in the 70s, and how it changed all the strategic alliances and all the power dynamics in the region, the Middle East, and also in the world.
Right.
Also, we have a General Assembly about secularism in Europe and the prohibition of religious symbols such as the hijab or the cross, and where are the rights of people, some minorities are threatened to be themselves and to practice their beliefs. Also, we have an ICG committee, an International Court of Justice. It's about the killing and the assassination of Imam Hendricks in South Africa, who has always been a spokesperson about...
the ICG, it's the International Court of Justice.
Exactly.
Right. ICJ.
ICJ. Sorry, yes.
Right.
ICJ. So basically it's about the family of the Imam who got assassinated, who has always spoke about the rights of minorities and offending rights of minorities, and spoke about hate crimes and oppression. He got killed. So basically the family is, how to put it? Is angry and is claiming that the South African administration and the South African government is not doing anything and is complicitly a part of the crime. Also,
they want justice.
Exactly, they want justice for their beloved. Also, we have
a special Tunisian committee. It is set in 1861 during the reign of the Bey of Tunis, where delegates can explore the first institution in the Arab world. It is
the first constitution.
Yes.
1861,
exactly. Yes. And just the influence of Sufi through the political reforms. It is part historical reenactment, part political drama, and uniquely Tunisian. We also have, last but not least, the Crisis Committee, which is... So the Crisis Committee doesn't have a big title. It is a fast-paced committee where delegates need to think on their feet and need to react to global emergencies. It is very exciting and very fun.
Exactly.
Right. So these are the 5 committees that
Exactly.
you described.
In total,
Okay,
yes.
so Security Council, General Assembly, the International Court of Justice, the Special Tunisian Committee during the Bay period,
Exactly.
and the Crisis Committee.
Exactly.
All right. So once they all elaborate their work, and so they come in front of
A jury.
a jury to defend the cases that they have in front of them, how much time do they have to prepare and to defend?
Exactly. So to prepare, we have a department called the Academic Affairs Department. They prepare scientific research books called study guides for each committee, with each delegation in each country or each role, such as the Tunisian committee, have their position, their beliefs, and they prepare based on that. We provide them also with source materials, with very
Even if they don't believe in that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of the simulation.
That's right.
Sometimes, exactly. Sometimes you have to take, sometimes you have to take a stance from a different point of view of yours
Right.
and what you believe.
Right.
Try to have an empathy and understanding of the other part,
Right.
which is very important in conflict resolution.
Right.
So they have to prepare. Today is the last day of the forms. They can
apply.
of
To
course.
apply.
Exactly. So by tomorrow, the delegations will know their roles and their committees, so they have the time to prepare. Then on the 24th of April, it's a Thursday, it's the opening ceremony. We will have like people gonna intervene, a panel of speakers, and then the simulation is gonna start on Friday and Saturday. It's 2 days, 2 day simulation from 8:30 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m. Different academic sessions, discussions. They have chairmanship, which
are the jury.
which is the
Yes.
jury. They're gonna regulate the debate, give order in case of very intense conflicts, and they have to speak and propose in what we call motions. So
Motion, right.
exactly, every delegate will propose a motion, then would pass to a vote. If it got
Passes.
it got accepted.
Yeah, there is a number of votes.
Yes,
Exactly,
of course.
Which
a
is?
minimum. If I think it's 51%, it's the majority.
51%
Exactly.
of the people who are present.
Who are present, exactly. And then in Security Council, for example, they have the right to veto, the 5 powers.
Right.
They have the right to veto. So for
The permanent
exactly,
ones,
exactly,
okay.
the permanent ones. So sometimes they work 2 days in a simulation trying to write the resolution draft, which is the official document with all the articles and all the laws that they came up with to resolve the conflict. But one country of the permanent delegations, if uses their right to veto, everything goes in vain, and
Oh,
it's
dear.
like 2 days of work went for nothing.
Right. And does it happen?
It happened last year in our grand simulation. I was a chair in the
What was the
Security
case?
Council. The case was about. Let me remember. I think the case was about. I totally forgot.
No problem.
I've chaired so many simulations lately, so everything got messed up. But I think it was very critical, very important.
So when you do not reach that point, so what happens after that? What happens to the grand simulation?
Exactly.
Is
so
it
different-
cancelled or?
It's not cancelled, but the importance is that there is a draft resolution. It got voted, it passed, but then one of the powers, one of the major
Vetoed
powers,
it.
the veto used their right to veto.
Yeah.
So it got declined. So basically, after we have a closing ceremony, every single committee will present their draft resolution. Who is the best delegate? Who is the best first timer? Who is the honorable mention of each committee? And they will present their draft resolution. Sometimes one of the committees fail to find a resolution, which what happens in real life.
Exactly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And real UN committees.
Exactly. It's like the ceasefire in Palestine,
Right.
of Palestine in the
Right.
Security Council, where America and United States use their right to veto, not to have a ceasefire,
That's
which
right.
is really devastating and really
Sad.
Right, right. Unfortunately, now when you talk about the form that is out for the committees, for the delegates
Yeah.
to apply, and afterwards, is there any criteria for you to select them?
Exactly. So in the forms, there is a list of questions, general questions, general information about you, even about if you have allergies, because you will have lunch and
Snacks.
we have to be sure that everyone is safe. And even about taking pictures, if you're not okay with taking pictures,
Yes.
of course. Then you have, if you choose a committee, you have a list of questions. And we, as especially the head of the Academic Affairs Department, is the responsible of choosing who are the delegates. For example, if two candidates chose the same delegation, the one that answered better to the questions is the
Go
right
to-
to have.
go there.
Exactly.
All right.
And you have your second choice, of course, and you can also participate as a journalist. Journalists are very important simulations.
Very
They
interesting.
Very interesting. They create a whole dynamic, and they be posting memes about the delegations because we have a Facebook group for each simulation. So you have like CNN, you have BBC, you have the Middle East Eye, you have agencies,
24.
exactly, Le Monde, people presenting these agencies as journalists, and even their design graphic is based on the agency they are representing.
It is as if you're watching news,
Exactly.
but fake
Right.
news.
But if you are in another committee, you have an idea what's happening in the other committee.
Yes.
You have a representation from Tunisia,
Yes,
journalists
for the Tunisian
from TAP, for
ex-
instance, the
exactly,
official
exactly.
news agency.
Yes, we have the official news agency, but for the historical committee, since it's historical, the 8061, we made up some agencies. So there is one that's called Le Constitutionnel,
Okay.
and the other one is Al-Ra'id Al-Rasmi,
Al-Ra'id
as
Al-Rasmi.
the source of information for people.
Right,
Yes.
right. Okay, now this motion that you are advocating, I mean, mysticism, the path to peace, or mystic diplomacy, the path to peace. What are the ways for you to advocate? I mean, this and to try to advocate young people, in the pursuit of let's say tolerance, in the pursuit of peaceful resolution to conflicts. There's a whole advocacy behind that. So
Exactly.
how do you think you can achieve that?
First of all, it's, as you said, it's very important learning about tolerance, especially in these times nowadays, and learning about acceptance, and learning about understanding the other and having empathy for the other part, which we be lacking, especially in our generation.
Yes.
We are so drawn with all these information on social media and on the internet, and
There's a lot of tension
Exactly,
all over
there's
the
a
world.
lot of tension.
Yes, and
A lot
we
of
are
And it
torn.
creates confusion.
Right.
Exactly.
right.
And often, as I participated in previous simulations as a delegate and as a chair, I've seen people tend always to, they represent, obviously when you're presenting a delegation, a country are representing all its values. You are not representing your person, you're presenting the strategic and the diplomatic values of that
Of
country.
that
You have to
Country.
put yourself in their shoes.
That's right.
Yes.
But we are challenging in this simulation, we are challenging delegates to really, you should respect these values, but also prioritize understanding, and finding a middle ground, because that's why we participate in simulation, finding solutions and negotiating with each other. Everyone has to sacrifice to find a middle ground. So we are challenging our delegates, students and students from high school, and students from all the different universities in Tunisia. We are challenging them to really prioritize finding peace on imposing yourself, no matter what your country is, no matter what your delegation is, imposing your values on the other parts, which we are lacking nowadays.
How many participants do you expect for this grand simulation?
For the grand simulation, since we have 5 delegations,
committees.
five committees, so in each committee, the respected number is 15, so 15 times 5 turns to be 60. Yeah.
I mean, with the 15 people within the same delegation, I mean, is it easy for them to work together, to share information? Because they have, I mean, time is really tight.
Exactly.
Over 2 or 3 days, they have to come up with a resolution, they have to study the case, they have to make up, their speeches, get ready in order to find the key words, I mean, to defend the case, etc. So what's the challenge here?
It is, so let me explain. So we have formal debates and informal debates.
Okay.
So in formal debates, everyone has an exact amount of time to speak. So you raise your placard, which has your delegation,
Okay.
and you basically wait for the chair to give you permission to speak. And that way it is very well organized. Everyone, if you want to speak, you will eventually speak.
Right.
However, in the informal debates, everyone gets up. It is very informal. You can even talk in informal languages, and that is when things get a bit messed up, because you have all of the delegation representing the countries. They truly put themselves in the shoes of the delegation, and so sometimes they get angry, sometimes they get very excited, but we always have the chairs to just calm things down, you know, and
Exactly.
yes,
So,
put things in order.
the importance of chairs is really, really crucial for the committees to work, because they guide delegations,
That's
they guide the participants towards the goal of the simulation. So
Peaceful conversation.
exactly. Basically, when they see that they are proposing different motions, they are not relevant to the topic, we would like to suggest a motion to discuss a certain point, so we can move on to the next, because we have an agenda. We have every chair have an agenda they
Right.
propose, of
And
course.
they are moderators, of course,
Exactly,
so
they
they
are
know what they are
moderators.
doing.
Yes.
Exactly, and as she said, there are different types of debate, and every debate has its own criteria. Such the formal debate, you have to speak in a formal language, whether Arabic, French, or English.
So you have to choose a language.
Exactly.
And is it the same language for the other delegates, or
No, not
each
really.
one can choose the language
Exactly.
in which he feels more comfortable?
Exactly.
All right.
And if there is a problem in understanding the other language, they can ask the chair to translate to them, or to translate the important points that the other delegation.
So it's the job of the chair to
Exactly.
translate.
Yes,
Exactly.
even if you have any question,
task.
yes, you just raise your placard, you ask point of information, and the chair will eventually explain everything.
Exactly. And about the chair, because not everyone can be a chair, we usually invite them, and especially we invite people who have really amazing experience throughout simulation, people that participated for more than 10 simulations, and we are glad to have our partners and our HECMUN clubs. We are not part of the association, we are part of the same community, but there's HECMUN TBS, HECMUN INSAT, HECMUN Faculté des Lettres, HECMUN Faculté Juridique, HECMUN sous, HECMUN Sphères, and HECMUN Bizarre. There is a whole list.
There's
and
around 40 HECMUNs all
Exactly.
throughout Tunisia.
And
Exactly.
you are all going to be in the same place.
Exactly.
Which is
Which is HECMUN Carthage.
HECMUN
Yes.
Carthage,
Exactly.
on these dates,
On
the
these dates.
24th.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Wow.
And even students from high schools, from
Can attend.
We also
Exactly.
there's also MUNs in high schools.
In high schools,
such as,
that's right,
yes,
yes.
Lycée Pilote.
Lycée Pilote,
That's
PMF,
right.
etc.
Exactly.
Okay, now the simulation, the grand simulation, how much time are they allocated? I mean, do they have an amount of time for them to speak up in front of the jury, to defend the case, etc., and to come up with the motion?
Yeah.
As in, so the delegates, as I said, they raise their
With the
placards,
declaration,
and
sorry.
yes, they get around a minute 30.
They can propose. So when you propose an emotion, so you say, we would like to, because you can't use I, je, or ana. You have to
speak
use with
yes.
we.
We, of course.
Exactly. So you have, we would like to propose a motion of formal and informal debate of, for example, 15 minutes, 1 minute 30 per delegate, or you precise every single detail, the
Okay.
topic, the duration per speaker, and the total duration of the motion.
And you choose whether to start or to
To
end the debate.
And
Yes.
that's really a very strategic tactic
Yes.
to use if you'd like to engage in a conversation. You can start the debate, but if you have an argument that really can shatter the whole committee,
Right.
you
You
can
choose to
save
end it.
your intervention for the last to the last, and you choose
The
to
cherry
end
on
the
top.
debate. Exactly,
Yes.
the cherry on top.
Wow, I mean, very challenging, really. And so the delegates, they choose right from the beginning how many people are going to speak, whether it is only one person or 5 or 6? It depends.
No.
They don't choose how many speakers. They just choose
The
the
time.
total duration of time and the
Okay.
timing, and then
And they can divide that time between 2 or 3 different speakers, or is it only one?
No, it's basically after the motion passes, the chairs will ask, "Are there any interventions on the floor?" And people who
raise
wish
your
to speak, there's the placards.
okay.
When the time ends, the motion ended.
If you finish talking before your time ends, you can just give your time to another delegation or
right.
something.
Or you yield your rest of the time to the
yes,
chairman.
To the chairman.
Okay. Now, from these simulations, from the work that you are doing, what are the lessons learned?
There are so many great lessons, and I can't really stop talking about the lessons that you can learn. And it's both on a personal level and on a professional level. Us as business students from HEC, it's really important to understand the geopolitical scene and the diplomatic relations, because it's in the core of the economy,
Of course.
of understanding the economy. And whatever your field is as a student, it's really important to engage in these conversations, to understand. So on a personal level, you're going to meet people from different categories, social categories. Incredible people, smart people, intelligent people who are really talented, and people who are really building their talents.
And it
So-
challenges you to become better and to
Exactly.
learn more, and it is really
Exactly.
good, really interesting.
Right.
And the committees itself, if each time you're going to participate in a simulation, because every simulation has a theme, and every simulation you have different committees and different topics. So the research that you're going to do, and all the academic research and all the engaging in conversation that you're going to do, you're going to learn so much knowledge, so much understanding about how this world works, how the power dynamics are, our place as Tunisia in the international scene, and what weight do we have in speaking, in engaging, whether on an Arab level or an African level, Mediterranean, and even international.
Yes, it gives you the opportunity to tackle topics that if you didn't participate in a simulation or MUN in general, you wouldn't even think about researching that topic or learning about it. So it is very interesting.
What about the participation ratio, male, female?
I think somehow it's the first time, because mainly we see in universities females are more than males.
Right.
But in simulations, actually, it's more like 50-50. You can
Yes.
see like participants from
Equity is there.
there is an equity, and
Equity.
people participate. We don't really, even the criteria, you don't even ask about the gender. And then somehow when you are participating in a simulation, you see as much men as women. But I think men tend to like more the challenging committees, such as the
Aspects,
crisis
yes.
committee. And there is obviously some uniqueness. There is some females, some women who
course.
are participating in crisis committees, but I think women really try to stick to the
Strategic, yeah.
very strategic, very powerful committees, such the General Assembly, such as the Security
We just
Council.
want peace.
Is it a mindset, a female
course,
mindset?
of course.
But I don't think we can really generalize it, because it depends. But as a participation, it's 50-50 most of the time.
Yeah.
50-50. Well, it's fascinating. I mean, the way you describe it, the way you are into it, really, and good luck.
Thank you.
so
I'm
much.
really impressed, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you so much. It
Keep
means
up
a lot.
doing this beautiful work, and you are learning a lot, I am sure, and you are certainly transmitting that knowledge to the younger ones as well, to those who are getting into the field of maybe choosing the path in which they would like to be in the future,
Yes.
as a professional career.
Yes,
So
it is
Yes.
truly the case.
It's really
Yeah.
the case. Me as a kid, I've always wanted to become an archaeologist. Then that changed, and I really got interested in economics and management, and I pursued that. But I wasn't really satisfied. But once I found the opportunity to participate in simulation, I've got my eye opened on this field, and I was really interested, because it is basically every other field, whether it's technology, economics, science,
Right.
diplomacy, geography, history. It's all in one place, and I'm really interested. Human sciences are very interesting.
Yes, in my
very
case,
intriguing.
yes, it is my first year in university, and I just joined HECMUN this year. And I literally fell in love with the whole idea of it, the concept of it. And it even pushed me to just take a gap year and to change the field. So now next year I will be doing global law. So I think it is very inspiring, very interesting. You meet a lot of people, you meet as we said, interesting people such as Fares, and they just shape your life, I think, and just can literally change your path.
Right, especially that diplomacy now is at the core of every field.
Exactly.
You talk about economic diplomacy, you talk about business diplomacy, etc., etc. So, Ria, you are really on the right path.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to us.
Thank you so much, and good luck with your event. So, just remind us of the event and the time, place, and date.
Okay, so as we said, it will be on the April 24th, 25th, and 26th. The 24th is the opening ceremony. It is open to everyone. You are all welcome to join us.
Do they have to sign something?
No.
They just come.
Yes, of course.
Come and join.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
And we will be posting updates on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram it is HECMUN IHEC, and on Facebook it is HECMUN IHEC Model of the United Nations. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so 24th, 25th, and 26th of April. And stay tuned and mark that date on your calendar.
Yes, and one important date is today is going to be the deadline for the forms, for the applications.
Great.
Make sure to apply. It's really interesting.
We encourage everyone to come.
Whether you're a student, whether you're in high school, whether even in middle school, you are the most welcomed.
You will not regret it.
Sure.
At all.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.